Hello, this is Vulturefire, and today's video is going to be playing with a mechanic that isn't new but is now far more available than it was. So, in the most recent patch, I believe we are on 4070. Sorry, 5070. Words are hard. So on 5070, we got a number of card changes, but the important one here is that there are now a lot of cards that give the Predator buff. And so in the last patch, Predator was increased damage done to enemies by 10% for every unique debuff type among all enemies, which was kind of weird. Now it works the way that I had actually thought it did previously, which is that your damage goes up by 10% for every unique debuff type on the enemy you hit. So if the enemy has, if you have two enemies, one of them has 5 debuffs and the other has 2 debuffs, and you get 50% against the one with 5 and 20% against the one with 2. So we now have several cards that give Predator. Hexing Strike now gives Predator in addition to Corrupting, so it's really leaning all the way into this debuff strategy. Tyrannical Focus is a new card that gives 2 mana each for if there's an enemy that is vulnerable, weak, and frail. 6 if you have an enemy with all of them. And it will also give you Predator 1 as a nice bonus. In the starting deck, we have Barbed Gale, which previously was AoE damage and bleed, I think, but now gives you Predator 2. Deals damage to any enemy and then gives all enemies bleed. So, aside from that, this is a Mirley deck, so we have a lot of Mirley cards. I think I want to change the deck slightly from where it is now. I think I probably want to do that. I want to... So, Corrupted Roots we're running because it gives Frail and because it gives Curse. We're running Vicious Retort as a vulnerable source, but I'm not sure how much I love that. We're running Toxic Cloud because it is weak and poison, which is 2 debuffs for our Predator. I do kind of want to find a way to fit in a Bide Time, but I don't know that I want to cut Vicious Retort for it. Kind of the awkward spot we are in. So I think we do have to keep the Vicious Retort. I think we keep the deck as is. We have Heavy Stand for Shield. And yeah, I am not building around Shock in this list. Although there are a lot of debuffs you can use with Predator. I'm not using Shock. I'm not using Frostbite. I have some Burn. I have Increasing Inferno, I believe. Oh no, I don't. I just thought I did. I have... Maybe I don't have any Burn. I thought I did. But I can pick up Burn from Drake's in Area 2. I might actually swap out something to pick up. This is probably more mana cards than I need. I like having a lot of mana cards, but this is probably a little bit excessive. Let's cut... I think the Mana Ritual is going to be tricky for us to get great value out of. And then I do want, I think, Increasing Inferno. It puts out debuffs on all enemies that we can then take advantage of. I do also kind of want to see if I can fit in, instead of Scramble, I think I want Deranged Insight, which throws up a debuff on everybody that we can take advantage of. Because Curse doesn't go away, which is convenient for us. We have Aether Storm, which is just damage. Got Hexing Strike. We may need more vulnerable sources. Let me look at what choices we have that we're not using. Oh, we have Noxious Blend, which is going to do a lot of work for us. This isn't the worst card, but I don't love it either. We'll see if this works. It worked last time. And so, let's go. Alright, these are all cards that, I mean, this is the nature of card pools, of course, is that you get offered a bunch of cards that you want. I think picking up Hunt to give us a more, well, this is where I wish I could see the map even from this first choice, because if I knew that I was fighting Demented Munchroom, I would absolutely take Sanctuary. I'm going to take the Hunt. I think Vindictive Aura is great. It helps smooth out some of our rougher turns. Mana Dance got nerfed, but it's still good. Likewise with Swift Strike. Corrupt Strike isn't bad. It is, and Draw Toxins does give us a way to set up poison, but we already have, I don't think Corrupt Strike is amazing, and I don't think it's worth giving up an Elite for. So, Mental Respite got buffed. Mental Respite Plus got buffed slightly. This card is still interesting. I may take it. If we get it, I may also just take Frenzied Flux because it's very good. We'll see what we do, where we end up. Okay. Step one, of course, is I want to say we don't have. Trying to decide if I wanted to do this before or after. So yeah, we got 20% extra damage on that hit. And we now have lots of Predator stacks, so we are good to go for next turn. So we have two. We're currently getting plus 20%. Now this will get us actually a lot more than that because we get 20%. We get 10% for each debuff, so that's 30% from that, and then another 30% from vulnerable. So that's a total of 60% bonus. So that is 39 damage, which is pretty good. See what we can find. Sure. And we'll just end the turn here. So one change on this patch is that Fatigue is now only 5 cards instead of the 4 it was previously. Which can be a problem, but I think we'll be fine. Sorry, 5 cards instead of 6. My brain is... I was trying to focus on other stuff and let my brain go on autopilot, which is always a mistake. Fatigue is now 5 cards per Fatigue stack instead of 6 cards per Fatigue stack. Arms Race doesn't actually do anything for us yet. I like having a Cultivate. Let's see if we can get through without the fight. Sure. I maybe should have taken that fight. I don't hate those the Munchroom cards, actually, now that I think about it, but take the Horseshoe. Horseshoe's generally pretty great. Let's see about beating up these guys. I'm not going to bother getting into Hidden yet. I am going to do that. Because if I draw, yeah, this, I wanted to be able to play it without worrying about losing Hidden. So we draw. Okay, that's great. Cultivate is... trying to think what I want to do here. I think I may just draw a card, play the Cultivate. This is currently bugged, so it'll give me Predator regardless. It's supposed to only give you the buff if an enemy is taking damage this turn. And it works properly for one of the buffs, for the critical, but it doesn't work properly for the Predator right now. See what we can find. Alright. I'll do a lot of damage to you. Draw. Alright, couldn't play that, but it's fine. So, the nice thing about this, the debuffs that we have, is that they give us some ways to get damage out, even though we don't have any ways through this evasion, really. We can still get a lot of work done. And we actually have lethal here, thanks to various debuffs. Bye. Alright, I think we just take the Mana Dance. It's just a very good card still, even after the nerf, and then we're moving on. Don't really have anything I want to cut yet. The Barbed Gale isn't amazing, but I do not want to cut it until I absolutely don't need it as a damage source. Because right now I am relatively low on damage. Okay, let's do this and hope that we draw. Yep. That. I think I'm actually going to draw cards because I'm hoping to find Hunt. This is actually a great set of cards to draw last in the turn. Now we don't have any mana to steal. And we're probably just going to get the kill on the Warbot using that one thing. Just going to take advantage of debuffs again, like we did last fight. So trying to actually kill it. Alright. Get a couple of aids. because it does not shield fast enough to compensate for how quickly we can output killing debuffs. There we go. Now I can check. All right, we are not fighting Munchroom, so I don't think I necessarily need the Sanctuary. I like picking up a Warcry because this is another source of weak, and getting consistent weak out is nice, and this is Mighty, which is nice. That said, I do like having access to Sanctuary, but we especially because we're not fighting this boss, we don't really get much value out of the Sanctuary. Like, it will stop us from being vulnerable or weak, but I think that's relatively low value. I still don't quite want to cut the Toxic Cloud yet. If I can get a Noxious Bomb, I probably will. But until then, I do not want to risk just not having. Now let's do this. We need to play out everything because we're not going to take any more Arcane for the rest of the fight. The one downside to how we are pathing through this area is that I'm not going to end up with like a lacerating strike, which is kind of what I would love to have. Just do that. I could have played the preparations first, but I didn't think that was terribly valuable. So I didn't want to put smoke bombs in my deck, and I couldn't have played the resulting thing. So yeah, we're getting quite a lot, because that is an 8 damage card, by the way, that we just got 34 damage out of. And yeah, we are currently at... Oh, these buffs are annoying. Fortunately, we evaded both of those. And that. That was a very good set of evades from us. All skill. Lots of practice to get that good at evading. Been working out. I think I'm fine playing that. I think I'm willing to play at least one of these. Yeah. Okay, so let's... You're already Mighty and Critical, so I don't actually get any benefit out of playing this in advance. Oh, no, I do, because it applies Weak. Which gives us a little more damage off of the Predator bonus. Vulnerable. Poison, and there's 41 damage off a 12 damage card. Alright, Hexing Strike is pretty great. We do need a little bit more vulnerable generation, I think, for that to be reliable, but we'll find something. This is bad because we do not want the minus critical damage. This is not great because we aren't doing a ton of individual hits. We'll take the Elemental Staff, even though it's not doing a ton for us. I think upgrading the Vicious Retort makes a lot of sense. I think we're going to need a little bit more vulnerable generation. I still don't have anything I really want to cut, so I'm going to keep being lazy on cuts. Looking at these fights, I think we might take a Leeching Seeds, although it's pretty meh. We might take a Toxic Spores, although again, I don't love it. I think it's a little bit better than anything here, though. We absolutely taking this fight because we would love a Lacerating Strike. We unfortunately were offered Thorn Whip in our first fight. And we would absolutely take a Corrupted Blast or a Lacerating Strike, and I don't hate having an Arcane Aegis, at least until we get rid of that one card we're holding on to. Until we get rid of the item that gives us the plus status stuff. So we unfortunately are not hidden, but I should have played that first. Let's see if we can get out of this. This will get us hidden. That's nice. And then we can apply weak to all the enemies. Which means that even if we don't evade any of these, we won't take much damage. You can see that Corrupt is already coming in handy, because that is why we have so much curse on that enemy. Start spreading out the love. The love in this case is vulnerable. We're fortunately not poisoned, so we don't take any damage here. We are now leeched, but that is not a huge concern. Right, we can't really play out both of these. The question becomes, do we want to finish off this kill just to be safe? And I think the answer is yes. Because we couldn't play both because we would have had to have left hidden, which wouldn't have been great. Alright, this is actually kind of great timing. But this came around before that vulnerable wore off. Let's go ahead and draw cards just to see what we find. Okay, we'll just do that. I don't think I want to waste mana here. I'm fine with taking a little bit of damage if that's what happens, because we do have still Vindictive Aura, which will help cover for all sins, basically. You get deleted, you get deleted. Alright, I don't like Toxic Spores quite enough. I think that we're not going to play it enough times. Tyrannical Focus is pretty solid, though. I don't know how often we will actually be getting more than 2 mana out of it right now, but we do kind of need the access to... Okay, this helps with the Tyrannical Focus. We can go bonk, which will give us the Frail, which means that thing gets enough mana to become tough. Get some evades. Hopefully they won at least one of these two. Okay, we evaded one of them, which is nice. Means that we did not Arcane Explode, which would have taken us out of hidden, which would have been very rude. Unfortunately, this does leave us in a slightly awkward position. I don't really want to play... Well, I'm deciding if it's worth doing this just for the fact that it is so much damage. It might be. Yeah, we don't need to evade 2x3. I think we can take that. We get, unfortunately, not quite all the way to that kill. Alright, let's see what we draw. Alright, we'll just do this, which will kill the front one at least. Get more debuffs. Oh no, because of the poison. I wasn't paying enough attention to what they were doing. Whoop. Okay. So, I can only get 2 mana out of that. A little unfortunate. Alright, so fortunately we got... That hit meant we weren't then shocked anymore, so we didn't take additional damage from the back one. This will kill either of them. Let's kill you, because you're attacking. If we can find any mana, we get this kill. So, let's just do that. Bye. And hopefully we get... we'll take that. We should have probably considered the Cleansing Shield, but I really wanted the last Raiding Strike, and that was going to be my only other chance at it. So, for the next upgrade here, I have a few options. Corrupted Roots I don't love, I think. The Barbed Gale, I don't... So, the main thing that I'm thinking about here is whether I just want to upgrade mana, because upgrading mana is always very good, or if I want to upgrade one of my other cards. Hexing Strike Plus is reasonable, and that's also a lot of mana. I may upgrade this one as a speculative pick. This is nice because it just helps keep weak out consistently. This likewise just like ensures that we always have Predator. I think I'm going to go with Hexing Strike just because Corrupt 3, I've got to get it. I've got to try it. We have a chance of getting Impaling Roots here, which actually could also be something we would be interested in. Yeah, there are a lot of cards that I will play in this deck that I wouldn't play with most. That I wouldn't normally be valuing very highly. So we're hoping we evade at least one of these. We did. We evaded both, which is great. Love to see it. See if we can find a way to get out weak. No such luck. And I don't want to use this because I want to block this bleed that's incoming. Fortunately, even without any debuffs, those crits are still going to hit for a pretty good amount of damage. Alright, and fortunately the Mana Dance is going to ensure that we don't take any damage here. I'm going to do this. Just get a little more damage out. The damage is for not that much because we picked up tough and weak throughout the turn. Okay, we now have the Holy Trinity, vulnerable, frail, weak. That means this is going to be just straight up a lot of mana. We need to vulnerable you, I think. Okay, so step 1, we kill you. Step 2, we do a ludicrous amount of damage there. And then, hey, we can finish it off. Bye. This is partially just Mirley being Mirley, but there's a decent chunk of it that is this deck, that is Predator being specifically a very good thing. The spiked shoulder pads let us justify cutting the Barbed Gale, I think, to some extent. I do also like Purifying Shard against a lot of fights in Area 2, though, so I'm going to take it, especially because it lets us justify taking Mystic Outburst, which is just an incredibly good card right now. I will upgrade the Other Storm, because it's just very good, and I still am not cutting anything because I'm still very lazy about cutting cards. So let's see what our options are here. So we're fighting Ruby Dragon, which means that we really do want to find a cleanse source before then. I do want to try and get a Mystic Ritual. I wouldn't hate having a Gathering Bolt. I would love to have a Cornered Focus. Hunting Trance is very good. I think we are... The question is, do I care enough about this Gleaming Aegis to go after it, or would I rather just do these two? The Frost Shards is pretty good. And the Feed the Flames in particular would really help with Predator, because we can just set up stuff on everybody. I think we go... Yeah, I'm cool with this plan. So we're going to start here, and we'll see where we end up from there. Alright, step 1. Vulnerable. Alright. Step 2. I'm deciding what I want to do exactly. Getting tough is nice because it keeps us safe even if we... Oh no, because this will already do that. And the question is just which of these two do I play? I think I go for the increased damage. And I pass the turn. Gotta love that purity. Right, we have... I'm willing to spend one of those purities here. We do not quite have a Holy Trinity set up yet. Because we need... And it's also not going to give us a Holy Trinity. Because it's not the one that gives us... There it is. Unfortunately, getting to it means dropping our hidden now. I should have put it on the front one. I wasn't thinking. I put the Tyrannical Focus on the wrong thing. Which is going to count, yeah, on us evading off of this. Okay. We just suddenly missed like literally five in a row. Thought we were in good shape. But we still had a... we still had purity stacks, so we were safe. And we'll just get some kills. How much of this is Predator, you may be wondering. The answer is, eh. Alright. Am I willing to reroll to get the thing that I want? I think I am. I think I really like... Okay, no luck. I think I am willing to take a Gathering Bolt here, maybe. I like Secret Cache a lot, though. No, I'm willing to try to take a Gathering Bolt. Although I may cut it later if we end up replacing that weapon. Because it is primarily useful to us because we can hit that Arcane proc. All right, let's see what we get with that. Sure. A lot of mana stockpiled for this turn. Alright. Pop you. Alright. Let's go. I want more Predator than just... Oh, but I will get Predator from that, so... Let's do that, which will apply a lot of poison out. Deciding if I want to draw a card. Yes, because I think I am getting enough value here. Okay, that wasn't quite what I was hoping for. I think this is worth losing hidden for. Because it's going to kill the front one. Yeah, that was absolutely worth it. Alright, do this first. Oh, we'll do that only. We'll just win. What if we just win? How do you guys feel about just winning? Absolutely, we were taking that mana. Greatsword is fine, but I think that we want... I don't think we want to give it the Elemental Staff necessarily, although strike damage, because I think I would rather have a weapon that is going to be applying a debuff on hit. So the question is whether we would rather do this fight, or if we would rather just take an event. I think that I don't love either of those cards quite enough, and I think I like events in this area enough. I think I am fine with cutting the gathering bolt though. It's fine, but it's not exceptional. And I know I should be cutting cards, so I'm going to. And then this gives us another chance at Mystic Ritual, which is of course the card that I was hoping to find. Also, we can get hidden. Let me do some mental math. So if we do this, I'm trying to figure out if we can get back into hidden if we set up Predator. I think we're going to do this. And then we're going to draw cards. Okay. So yes, that will give us enough mana that we can do this, which critically is going to break all of those evasion stacks. And we can end hidden. That was a good turn. Alright, sure. We absolutely needed that Predator. Very important to abuse bucks to get Predator. And get the kill. Okay, this is now more valuable to us, but Mystic Ritual is amazing now. So Mystic Ritual was buffed. It was previously draw 4. It is now draw 6. That's a lot of cards. Okay, so doing that before I set up hidden, in case I end up playing additional cards this turn. I should have tagged the back one. So alright, that's nice. I can play this without losing hidden, which will let me set up hunt. Alright, don't explode. Didn't explode. So we have Predator, but we do not have anywhere near enough debuffs on our enemies. Do that. Alright. We can get weak. We can get all of them on you for a lot of mana. And we could get sturdy and tough, but I think we just kind of want to get poison out. And more weak. I didn't want to lose hidden there. I should have checked. Okay, no, yeah. I lost track of whether or not I had any more hidden sources. Normally I would have, obviously you can see that like we're kind of struggling here under the weight of not having enough hidden sources. A lot of that is just, I would normally have picked up a, oh, I do have to start the front one. I would normally have tried to pick up a Noxious Blend or a Resourcefulness for now, it hasn't been offered to us. I probably need a couple more hidden sources in the pool. The pool is kind of tight. I don't have like space for stuff. See, I could explode. Exploding doesn't actually hurt us that bad. Because we have a purity stack. I think I'm fine with exploding. Worth it. So we take a small amount of damage, but it means that we can then do this. Goodbye. And let's just do that. Alright. So taking out one of them is great. Exploding means we are that much safer next time. You're now vulnerable, which is now 2 of the things. And the other thing is, because we've blown up once, we're now safe to play that. It's kind of the goal. Alright. We have a smoke bomb, which means we can afford to play multiple cards that would drop us out of hidden. I guess we can just get back into hidden. We do not have any evasion stacks right now, but we can get tough, which means that even if we don't evade this, which we didn't take unrecoverable damage. And there's our evasion, our temporary evasion stack, right on time. Which I realize could sound like I'm joking, but that's actually pretty useful to us. Just keeps us safe here. Didn't even need it. And now we just have to finish off the fight, which we can do. Let me think. Like that. Bye. All right, Pulverize is very good and funny, but I don't know that we actually want it in this particular deck. Deranged Insight is actually pretty tempting. Assassinate is also very, very good, but I think we have too many damaging spells as it is. Let's see if Preparation's plus changed. So it used to be 2 for 4, now it's 1 for 3, which I think is a better upgrade. This upgrade is now very tempting because it's just so many cards. I think I probably want to upgrade Tyrannical Focus, because that potential of getting all that mana is very good. And then I don't think I have any cuts I particularly want to make right this second. Again, like the Corrupted Roots I do want to cut, but I have to find the other cards that replace it first. We could go here if I want Gleaming Aegis. If this was a Shadowbone Dragon, I think I would, but I think I don't necessarily need it here. I could get a cut there, but I didn't care enough. It's like a Scroll of Recall. That seems pretty easy for us to hit. Alright, let's draw some cards. Alright. We can now get 6 mana. Alright, we can go Ponk, which means that will, theoretically it would have corrupted, but it didn't matter because they were too busy being dead. Alright, we have enough mana to do both of these, which is nice. And then we get to evade one of these hits guaranteed. So our goal here is to luck into a purity stack before instead of getting frozen. Or we could just kill one of them. That also works. We get 5 card plays. Nah, it's not worth it. Alright. Unfortunately, we let all of our debuffs lapse because I am bad at this game. There we go. That gets one of them back at least. And we just need to find any of our damage cards to get us that kill. Alright. Ice Shards I would normally take, I think, but I don't know that we can afford to right this moment because because we don't have enough ways to get into hidden. We just haven't found resourcefulness or the other thing. And then I think we are moving because I'm still too lazy to think about cutting cards. Right. And I will probably take the 1 mana thing here. I don't know if I would take the 5 mana one, but we'll see what happens. You can't expect me to know in advance what I'm planning to do with my own cards. I was really hoping to find a way to enter hidden here, but no such luck. But we can almost kill you. Right, so we're going to take some damage here. Not a ton we could have done about that. Let's get the Predator set up first. Let me think. Just get that out. I want to get out. Alright, so we're going to take some damage here. Hopefully we evade this hit. Hey, we did. And that one decays into an egg. Alright, and we can afford to do this one. We can't afford to do that, though. And unfortunately, they aren't frozen, so we can't get value out of that. Second turn. No, we're just going to have to let them hatch into phoenixes, unfortunately. We got to heal a little bit, which is fun. but not enough. It's fine. And we'll get those weaks out, which will keep us mostly safe here. There's the scaling burn damage that's kind of annoying. Alright, we can go bonk. We can draw some cards and hope to find mana, which we did. We can find with getting that out. Get lots of... Okay, this will do good work. We will need to re-enter hidden. Re-enter hidden then? Yeah. The much more aggressive whatchamacallit is causing me a few problems. The much more aggressive fatigue now is this patch is causing me a few problems here. See what we draw. But we ultimately end up only down 3 health overall. Yeah, this seems worthwhile. This giving all this the enemy's burn. I do also really like Brainstorm, but I think we'll take that and see how it works. This is actually a tough choice. Both of these are very good, but I just like Tiny Book too much as a way to potentially solve problems, potentially keep me safe from bad turn ones. Okay, so generally speaking, the ideal goal for this fight is that you want to you want to avoid having to you want to avoid the drakes as much as possible. Like the best way to do this is if you can one-shot our friend over here. You just don't have to deal with the drakes at all. But I do not think that is in the cards for us. It seems unlikely that we would be able to pull that particular trick off. We drop with that. I suppose it doesn't matter which of these. We can't play that unless we draw more cards, and I don't think we want to. So we can, but then we lose hidden, which I don't want to do. Unfortunately, we are in the awkward position of these hits being... I suppose that one's not actually anywhere near as bad as I was expecting, but they will get worse. Did we pick up... No, okay. I thought for some reason we had picked up the thing that gives us extra stuff for words. That's fine. We will just dodge this. Exactly as planned. We've got a bunch of curse, which is nice. We can do a bonk. And I believe we are set to enter to spawn drakes off of debuffs, which is kind of ideal. Yeah, because it means that there's not a window here where we don't have... So I keep that. I think I'm okay with discarding that. We can get weak on them. We can... Alright. We're going to take some damage here, probably. Okay, we're just going to take all the damage. Let's see. Ideally, we want to find Aether Storm here, which we may not. We did not. No luck on the Aether Storm. Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a pretty big showcase of why I think finding one of our cleanse cards, like this is the reason to have taken that Sanctuary earlier, is it helps prevent us from ending up in exactly this position. We will happily dunk you. You do to evade that, fortunately, and we do have 18 curse on the big guy. Let's heal. Let's get Mighty up so that this will hit for harder, which is relevant, especially because it means that it will trip our Vindictive Aura. So yeah, we lost some health there, but it could have been a lot worse. I don't think that does enough for us. I think we are re-rolling that, and resourcefulness is great. It's not quite exactly what I was looking for, but... And I think the Feed the Flames, we are just having too many problems. Well, we are... I think the Barbed Gale goes, because we have enough Predator, I think. We are struggling to keep enough hidden options, and even though we just picked up one, I think it is safest to do that. I think I'd... So the reason I'm not upgrading these is that I don't like leaving smoke bombs sitting in my deck. That could be wrong. It's possible that upgrading these is the correct play here. I think the resourcefulness now is a better upgrade in this particular case. The Cultivate Plus is also reasonable. Just for the extra card draw. I think I'm going to upgrade the Resourcefulness Plus, and we will see what happens. Okay, so as far as enemies here go, alright, so we really need to fight these guys because I had been on a Baelator streak, now I'm on a Maw streak, and I really need this cleanse for the Maw. I think we go through here to hopefully pick up, well, so this card is kind of the card that we really want. I don't think we need either of these cards. I don't think they do a ton for us. I think it is worth going through here to get 2 chances at Persecute, which is kind of the perfect card for us. And then we will figure it out from there. So we can go through here instead, but I don't really want to do that many fights, so we're not going to. Alright, let's start by giving you Vulnerable. Toxic Leather. Oh, right. These are these guys. I should have been more careful. That one's on me. Okay, so the trick here is I want to play... I do not want to end up... I do want to end up hidden, and I need to figure out how I sequence my plays best to do that, because I also want to, like, get this Corrupt out, but I want to get this out before I Corrupt. Let's see. If I do this, okay. That actually works out pretty nicely. And then I can do this. Unfortunately, I cannot play that. But I think that was worthwhile. Because getting to corrupt all of that curse was very nice. Also means that that's now very good. Let's see what we draw. Oh. I need to be paying more attention to when they set up Opportunist, and I just am bad at paying attention to both that they have set up Opportunist and also that I am vulnerable. I do know that I am going to, I will acknowledge that here I am taking a risk, but in that case I think it was worth it. Alright, Opportunist is still set up because they set it up during the last turn. There's one thing that I don't love about this fight now is that if you ever play into Opportunist, there's a very good chance that you are dooming yourself to being opportunized for the rest of the fight. It's actually going to give us a kill. Yeah, the Feed the Flames has been kind of a little bit awkward, largely because it takes hidden away. Persecute's great. Alright, let's see what we get. Sure. This doesn't do anything. That doesn't do... Well, not really. We don't have any cards that are using the Elemental Staff, though, right? Let me check. No. I don't think we're going to pick up any, so this is actually, I think, a little bit better. We do technically have some spells. There's a chance that we end up freezing something at some point. It's unlikely, but it could happen. Here are these jerks again, which means that I should be more careful and attempt to avoid getting got this time. And I am going to be careful this time. Unfortunately, they are setting up Opportunist again. Yeah, when you're fighting, like, and then next turn, yeah, they're going to set it up again. Yeah, there's just no escaping Opportunist. Yeah, Yeah, and just like playing that card is always going to trip Opportunist. Right, so we only get one card before we lose Hidden. So it becomes a question of what do we want to do? We've already got Curse on that front one, so I think this is probably the play. They are both weak. I would like to draw more cards, but I can't do that safely. Alright, and then do that. Okay, yeah, because, yeah, once again, just I glanced away for a moment and I had forgotten that we are in the Hell of Eternal. Yeah, next turn they set up Opportunist again. Do I just have to eat these hits? I don't think I want to. Alright. And then next turn we will finally be free of fatigue of dealing with the Opportunist, which should hopefully give us the window that we need. This one is not vulnerable, so let's set that up. Womp womp. Draw a card. Draw more cards. And just finish you off. This is not really the card that we were looking for. I think we just take the Runic Focus. And there are several great cards here. We would take either of the... I think we would actually take any of the monster cards here, depending on... You know, there are cards that we would maybe rather have if they were offered for the other monsters in the fight, but we would absolutely be fine taking any of the monster cards here, in addition to several of our card pool cards, of course. Alright, there we go. That's a lot of mana to work with. And it means that we have Predator set up, which means this will do a lot of damage. Except to hit this jerk. Duh. I don't think it's worth hitting that one with... So I think we hit this one. I should have... It's fine. I'm just going to assume that I'm going to evade some of these. Alright, I evaded some of them, as expected. Which is good enough. Back one is no longer hidden. Just going to kill you. Draw cards. Alright, that'll have to do. Unfortunately, it means that this last one re-enters hidden, which is not my favorite thing, but what are you going to do? Answer, miss 100% of the shots you take. Fortunately, we can ensure that at least one of those shots gets missed. Alright, so we're taking at most 8 damage there. We did not take any damage. We are as good at evading as the scout this time. There's a ton of mana back. We can draw cards. And then delete the enemy. Wow, these are both cards that I would love to have. All three of these, really. I think we need the Cleansing Shield because we are fighting Maw, and I do not have any cleanse right now. I think that's just too important. Alright, let's see if... I don't know if this upgrade changed. It did not. I was hoping it had changed to be a double cleanse. I think we upgrade... Thinking. It might be that we upgrade a card. I think we're going to upgrade one of our cards. I think upgrading to get extra mighty and critical makes sense. This card seems like a trap now. I don't like this at all, I think. I think this is just incredibly difficult to justify. I think a 4-card fatigue threshold is just incredibly low, and it's going to be very, very rare that you have a run where that is. That doesn't cost you more mana than it saves you. Basically, if you're not on Dwarofus. Like, I already wasn't a huge fan on not Dwarofus runs. I think that just completely seals the deal. Unfortunately, we counted into hidden, but fortunately it won't matter this turn. And also, fortunately, we have Aether Storm, which will help ensure that we don't have problems against these jerks. You're going to go boom, which is annoying, but we can deal with it. We do have Arcane coming in. Alright, we are good to do this. And we guaranteed the evade. It does make this something we can't play. But I'm not too unhappy with how this is turning out. Starting to get a pretty good amount of damage out. We don't have any vulnerable in this back one, unfortunately. So draw. Alright. This actually just straight up kills the front one, which I don't hate. Alright, I do have to make room in my hand. Gonna go and play that. So we are already mighty and critical. They are already both weak. So I think we just do this, which is going to cause the front one to explode. So let's cleanse first. Get that out. There's no way for us to get vulnerable out, unfortunately. And then we're going to do this, which is going to make us leave hidden. Then we can re-enter hidden. Go ahead and get extra mighty. Absolutely, we'll do that. Yeah, that Fan of Flames needs to go because we are not getting use out of it. Alright. Yeah, I think we're going to do that, which is going to give us just a lot of value against you. We will leave hidden if I play this. I think it's worth it. Because we're only taking a tiny, tiny amount of damage. It gets us just even more dots out against this jerk, who is now perfectly set up for that. Look at that. We actually managed to get that off. Let's go ahead and make those jerks weak, because we can. Go ahead and get the shield set up again. Don't quite have lethal on you, but it should be fine. This seems good. And we took a tiny amount of damage that the Vindictive Aura promptly healed back up. Arcane Silence is great. We're absolutely going to upgrade that. We need it going into Maw. Full stop. Feed the Flames is gone. Bye. We're also going to be happy to take whatever card this guy drops to help us against Maw. that we draw. I think we do want to... So the choice here is whether we would want to do that or target this one. And it basically comes down to whether we cared more about getting this purity off or setting up for that one card that we're going to do eventually. So now even if we explode, we don't lose hidden, which is nice. And we didn't even explode. Alright, and we are still in the grace period before it's finished. It sets up the thing that it sets up. We can cleanse ourselves twice. I'm going to start by seeing what we're going to draw. Plenty of mana up. Get one of those off. We can go kaboom, which is going to just barely break one of those plated stacks on the that friendo. Keep drawing cards. We cannot play all these anyway, so. It's kind of tempting to keep drawing cards, but I think... Oh, we can actually see what we would draw. Yeah, okay, I think it is worth getting this Persecute. Especially since we drew that. We just freeze ourselves. I should have played the focus first. There was no point. Oh, I suppose it wouldn't have mattered. We would have lost mana anyway. This blows us up off of the barrier. This doesn't, though. Yeah, I think that's worth it. Sure, we'll get more. Predator. There's no guarantee, unfortunately, that we're going to evade the big hit, which we didn't. But it's fine. They're all still weak, so we don't get any benefit from this. No direct benefit anyway. Do that, I think. And we'll have to just hope that we evade. We evaded enough. Not as much as I would like, but enough. Which means goodbye. And that pops a purity stack. Let me just do this. Which does leave us with a bunch of smoke bombs, which I know I've said that I don't love having just sitting in the deck, but needs must when the devil drives and all that. And we can just get these out, which means that we are in no danger, really, this turn of taking damage. Alright. There's another one of those annoying plated stacks gone. And we are very slowly getting our kills out against these jerks. Goodbye. Don't have a guaranteed evade here, but yeah, it's fine. Goodbye. Alright, yeah, we have lethal now. Just off of curse. We're only 2 mana short of full health. And yeah, I will take a prismatic shield. That's not perfect, but it's reasonable. None of this seems the most useful. I kind of don't love the Toxic Cloud at this point. It's expensive and relative, and we have enough other sources of weak that I don't think we need it. I think I will upgrade. Again, this doesn't give me the piece that I need, which is unfortunate. But we do now have 1 purity source. We do have 2. And of course, we can get purity from being hidden, which is, you know, something. And then I think I will upgrade. I think we actually probably want more tough. We may need the extra shield. Let's see if we can get a dark focus here. Should have saved that for a moment until I had all of those debuffs set up. Pop. Right, so we... Oh, that's unfortunate. Since it means that we are no longer hidden. Can do that. Just don't have the mana to do the other one, so that's why we did what we did. That works out nicely though, and that seems fine. Get the purity back, which means that we don't actually take a debuff here. We have all 3 of our debuffs out. Let's see what we can drop. Okay. And that went well. This is going to do good work. It's going to blow up one of those plated stacks. I shouldn't have... Oh, no, I suppose that we're fine, kind of, because we actually are safe from the arcane explosion because we have enough... we actually have a max arcane that is high enough that that we can't get exploded with just that. All right. Keep laying on the bad beats. Got out a good amount of curse. I mean, good for us. It's obviously not good for our opponent. Alright. Evade. I guess we were guaranteed to evade the arcane, but, you know. More evades is always nice. And goodbye. I don't love that one, I think. I don't think that does quite enough for us. That does seem good, though. This is probably better than this, although it's not my favorite. Doubling Spyglass, what do we double? Becomes the question. And I think having it in our pocket is good. And I think it's better than the one-time draw in this case. And we will see what we get here. Sure. Alright. So, temporary buff, sure. Alright, so what cards do we not want anymore? It may be that Aether... Well, so Aetherstorm Plus is a card that does damage, but is kind of a low-value card, I think. I think the Corrupted Roots is the one that we need the least now, though. Because we now have other ways to get Frail out. Where are we at on items? Oh, we don't have any accessories? Okay, we can definitely try and find a good accessory. That's pretty good. Take that. Let's see, what would I cut next? I am not certain. I think I keep this just because, like, we need the damage, I think. I think we need the ways to do damage. I think I can't afford the Precarious Draught anymore, because I don't think I can afford to have it taking away my, whatever, potentially. So, getting damage out here may actually be a little bit tricky. We have, not as many, we don't have that many actual damaging cards. We've got these two, we've got this, and that's it. So as far as actual damage output goes, we've ended up relatively light. But We will be getting handed things by the maw, so we just have to be able to use them. Is what it comes down to. And we do want to make sure that we get that curse set up. That's unfortunate. We are only going to get one out of it, but that will give us a predator. And then draw a card. All right. Naturally, we found both of our. Okay. So naturally, we found both of our cleanse sources on turn 1 before we were cursed, but they'll come back around again, and so will the curse. And I think I don't want to risk drawing Hexing Strike here, because if Hexing Strike is top card of my deck, I'll be very sad, because I do want to play that this turn. Oh. So here, I'll play that, which will draw us, yep. So conveniently here, I knew I would be able to guarantee. Let's go. Let's get that up. So we are now cursed, but we were able to get a good amount of curse out on Maw, as well as just an infinity of weak. We can draw and discard that. The big question is, I don't think I want to play this, although that is just so much potential value. We can draw a bunch of cards. We got both of these, which is nice. Let's shrivel first, because I'm going to get value back out of Vindictive Aura. We can cleanse off some of our problems, which is nice. And we can keep making the Maw's day worse. You might give me a second. Let me pause this for just a moment. Sorry, I'm back. Gain some purity. I don't really want to do this, I think. It is kind of tempting, but I don't think so. We will just eat some. Alright, getting those purities out is nice. You're at half of the damage done. I still haven't used the Spyglass. I'm still not sure what I'm Spyglassing. I should Spyglass Arcane Silence, actually. I should draw some cards. Let's just do this. Maybe we won't need to. Maybe we'll just win. Yep. We're just going to win. But could we win with explosions? I don't think so. We can find out. No, we're just going to get close. But the reason I said that we can find out is that I can do this. And let's go hunting. All right, let's get a screenshot of that. And yeah, so that was Mirley, Predator. So basically the Predator deck is you play all the random debuffs, you have a lot of fun, and you do Mirley things. It was great. You can do Predator on other characters as well. You can do like a more status-based run where you abuse like Shocked and Frozen or two of your more common ones, and like Routing can get Frostbite out AoE to make sure that you have that. Drophus can get like some Leech out sometimes, which is interesting. So yeah, there's just a lot of choices. I like the Predator cards a lot. I think they're a lot of fun. So that was this video. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.